Hey guys, what's up? Fan here again, and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys another video commentary, and this time I'm gonna be playing Illidan. Now, it looks like the map we queued on here is Dragonshire, and this is not a solo queue. I'm actually queuing with one of my friends here, so this is a duo queue, but, you know, everything else should be absolutely the same. So the build I'm about to show you guys is a very standard Illidan build. It's pretty much been universally agreed upon at this point that this is the strongest build. It's used by most pros, or even all the pros in competitive games, so it's pretty much the strongest, it's pretty much the strongest build at the moment in terms of team fighting and whatnot. So here what I want to do is, I'm going to skill Shadow Shield level 1, and the reason I want to skill Shadow Shield level 1 is because, basically Illidan is a very squishy hero, and, what this does is it gives you a shield every time you use evasion, and that shield actually scales up as you level up. So it's 75 HP at level 1, but, it's going to increase as I level up. And that's important because Illidan is a hero which dives on the backline a lot, and, basically he's a hero that's used as a tank a lot as well, and he needs to be able to soak up a lot of damage. And in order to do that, he needs every bit of survivability he can get because, unlike most of the warrior tanks, he doesn't have a huge HP pool. Now, Illidan's early game is actually pretty weak in terms of team fighting and whatnot, so if you're looking at like a 2v2, or 3v3, or 4v4, or anything like that, Illidan is actually quite weak. However, the one situation where Illidan is kind of strong in the early game is in a 1 versus 1 situation, and that's basically because in a 1 versus 1 situation, Illidan's passive lifesteal is enough to kind of out-sustain whoever he's laning against, and he'll be able to out-trade some heroes in lane because of his lifesteal and how often you can spam his abilities. So what happened here was they got pretty careless. I got like a huge chunk of HP off of both of them, and we were able to get the gank off top there. So that was good. But normally, they shouldn't have let that happen. I think the enemy lane was actually stronger, and if they didn't mess up and let me take such a big chunk of HP off of both of them, that would have never happened. But I'm not complaining. Okay, so this Zeratul here. I'm gonna trade hits with him because I have evasion, but as soon as the other guy comes out, I gotta back off here and play safe. So I kind of want to go back, but I guess I'll wait a little bit here. I'm gonna try and stall the creeps before they reach my tower in order to conserve as much ammo as possible, and here I'll start back. Well, I'll stay one more wave here. It's really risky for me since I'm at half HP, and I have no idea where the Zeratul went. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let him push the wave into my tower, and I'm just going to get the health regen globe and lifesteal and get back to a safer HP amount before I start pushing out again. And you can see that there seemed to be someone waiting in the bushes there as well, so it was definitely the right choice there. Okay, so now I have a Muradin here. He's trying to gank for me, and I'm going to try my best to kill this guy. One more Q might be able to do it. And yeah, so basically, if anyone ganks for me, Illidan's actually very, very hard to escape from because you can Q and W so often. So the Nazeebo, being at my tower, there's really no chance he could get back to his tower without taking massive amounts of damage, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I didn't really say anything, but level 4 you of course get Immolation, and the reason you want Immolation is, well, let me try and help my teammate out here a bit. This is 2v3, so we need to run. I'm gonna use evasion, run away, and I might be able to turn around because we do have another person here. I'm anticipating his blink, so oh, so he did something really good there. He dumped a bunch of damage into me and then blinked out of my Q range, so I couldn't dive there, but he ended up dying anyway, so it was an even trade. But anyways, for level 4 you want Immolation. Immolation is really good at pushing lanes. It's also really good at, doing mercenary camps because it's basically it's up almost all the time as long as you're auto-attacking something because your W is up all the time. So because of that, it's kind of just like this constant AoE damage around you, which naturally is very good for taking anything, minion or mercenary related. Okay, so I'm playing kind of aggressive on these guys because I have first aid, but you know, they had backup there, so I have to back off. Not a big deal. And since I'm always outnumbered here, I'm just gonna let them push in the lane again. Really not too much I can do about this. Okay, and since they're backing off, and I have my evasion up, I'm gonna go up there once again and try and save as many ammo for my towers as possible. You know, so they can defend more later. That guy looks like he's trying to bait me out, so I'm going to continuously stay here. Yeah, so that guy's just waiting for me, and you know, they're keeping control of the watchtower, but other than that, that guy's literally doing nothing. He's not even pushing my towers down really, so that's not a really good use of his time, and I'm perfectly content to kind of just sit here and get the experience, you know, if he's willing to stay there. However, I see that the Rhaegar has moved mid, so I'm actually going to start fighting this guy. Once again, Illidan is extremely good at chasing, so you know, this guy has no chance of getting away from me. He realized that, he was out of position, but he died in order to make sure that we couldn't get the shrine, and they got the DK as a result, so it was pretty good for them as well. Okay, I see. Oh, that's actually not a Zeratul, that's a Nova. I did not realize they had a Nova as well, but you know, I guess they do. Okay, so there they messed up really badly. The Illidan wanted to metamorph me. And... oh, am I gonna get the triple? I eat just in time, but that guy's not gonna die. But yeah, so, you know, they stacked their ults there. Illidan wanted to kill me with his metamorph, but then I got VP'd. So, kind of unlucky for them, kind of good for me, but in the end, they gave up a double kill there, and now we're ahead on experience. So looking at the lanes, it looks like we got people pushing mid, but no one's really bottom, so I'm going to start heading bottom here. Right now, my Metamorphasis is down, so I'm not going to be much use in a team fight, so I'm going to try and get that up as soon as possible. And generally on Illidan, whenever your Metamorphosis is down, you want to be hitting things, auto-attacking things as much as possible in order to reduce the cooldown. You know, just continuously reduce the cooldown until it's back up again. So here I'm just going to do a Merc Camp real fast and get my cooldown a little bit lower. And now I'm going to come to bot because no one's here and try and get my cooldown completely off cooldown for Metamorph. Okay, so it's basically off cooldown now, so I have more liberty with what I want to do. Looking at the map, you know, there's not too much I can do. So I'm just going to come here and take a safe mercenary camp. It's really hard for me to solo dive, you know, forts and stuff, so the only things I can really take are the outer wall turrets or mercenary camps. And since most of their outer wall turrets are down already, I'm just going to take armored camps. Okay, that's done. And now I'm going to try and help my friend here. Zone them off in case they're following him. They're not. And looks like we're good. Okay, so I haven't been talking much, but hopefully you guys have been seeing my skill builds. This game's been pretty action-packed, so I haven't been talking about it much at all. And it looks like I'm actually going to go on this Nova because the other guy actually, you know, he used his ancestral healing on himself, so by definition, you know, he has no more healing for the Nova, so it was a pretty easy kill there as long as I didn't get sniped, which I didn't. But I guess going back a little and explaining my skill build, at level 7 you want First Aid. First Aid fits in very well in terms of the survivability thing, much like your Shadow Shield. You know, you just want as much survivability as possible, and First Aid gives you that. First Aid also scales off of Metamorph, because Metamorphosis grants you bonus HP for every hero you hit, and you know, this gives you 35% of your max HP. So whenever possible, you always want to use First Aid after you use Metamorphosis. That guy tried to snipe me there, but you know, didn't have quite the aim there. It's pretty easy to dodge those as long as you know how to sidestep things. I'm gonna come back here because I'm a little nervous though, and back off. We got the fort there, so no problems, and they should be able to get out okay. So once again, going back to my skill build, level 10 Metamorphosis. I think the Hunt is useful in some situations as well, but generally speaking, Metamorphosis is just much stronger in a fight and overall, so that's why you get that. Level 16 is 6 cents. When you use your evasion, you take 50% reduced damage from abilities while your evasion is active. This once again fits in the theme of get as as tanky as you possibly can on Illidan, and it also addresses one of Illidan's main weak points. Evasion completely cancels out auto attacks, but people can still nuke you down with spell damage, and you really don't have any answer to that until you get your level 13 skill 6 cents. After you get that, it's very, very hard for Illidan to die to any type of damage. Okay, so here no one's defending this. I'm gonna push it with my teammates. They're trading bottom there, so I'm actually gonna go straight for their wall here because I think this is a free wall. My teammates are running bottom. I don't really agree with that. We should have just taken this wall, honestly, because running bottom takes a huge amount of time, and by the time we get there, they're probably already gonna get it as well. Get that fort. So there's really no point in doing that. I'm gonna try my best here to do as much damage to their top wall as I can. Soak bullets with my evasion here, and continue to push. So for level 16, there's two options. You can get Blood for Blood or Stoneskin. I'm going to choose Stoneskin because it's the safer option. It makes you more tanky, and like First Aid, it also scales off of Metamorphasis. However, Blood for Blood is generally a better option when they have a bunch of tanky heroes on their team, and you can just always use it on any one of them to instantly heal like 1 to 2k HP. Okay, so no one's stopping me right here, so I'm going to continue to go back in, and finally someone shows up, so I am going to bail out ASAP. I can't actually run against an Illidan, so I'm actually going to fight him. And, hope he messed up. And he actually did mess up because I managed to kill him there, so that was good. Looks like my teammates picked off another few people there, so I'm actually going to stay here for a bit longer. I have all my skills up, and when an Illidan has all their skills up, it's very hard for anything to kill him. Well, this guy's about to test me though. Alright, so this is gonna be hard to escape, but I think I can do it. I'm gonna use evasion, I'm gonna flip out of it, I'm gonna use Stoneskin, try and dodge the thing. Did not dodge the thing, but in the end we traded one for one. My teammates should be able to clean this up because we're ahead. Yep. Okay. So I might have overstayed a little there, but in the end it went for a 3-for-2 trade with the DK up, so we're going to be able to get this DK hopefully. And that's about it, I guess. It looks like we're winning pretty hard right now, so not much to say here. Let's see, did I cover everything on the skill tree here? Yep, so level 16, once again, you can either do Blood for Blood or Stoneskin. Stoneskin's better if they don't have a bunch of tanks, but if they have like 2 or 3 tanky targets, you might want to take Blood for Blood. Looking at their lineup, they literally have 0 tanks, so of course I went for the Stoneskin. Alright. So we revive here, and unfortunately we didn't manage to get anyone to the DK, so that's a bit of a shame, but it's okay. We're gonna hit 20 soon, and that's another huge power spike for us. So the best thing to do right now is to just wait and try and get that level 20. Here I'm gonna do the safe move and do our mercenaries. Once again, since Illidan is such a good mercenary killer, might as well do them any chance you get. And basically, when you're doing mercs, you're just doing W and E every chance you get. I normally don't do Q, because Q actually, when you're Qing, you can't auto attack, and your auto attack actually does slightly more damage than your Q. Plus, your auto attack will, reset the cooldowns for W and E, and it will lifesteal. So auto attacking is actually better than Qing when you're just doing mercenary camps. In some cases, when you're trying to use Q to dodge a stun or something, then obviously using Q is fine there. Okay, so I'm gonna head up here, rejoin my teammates. Once I get on this TK, there's no way he can run away. I guess he can kick me away, but that's the wrong direction, so I believe that's the DT. I'm gonna wait for his blink here, and there it is, and I'm gonna go right back on him. Looks like he really wants to get away. Okay, so he used his VP, and we're just gonna let him get away for that VP, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna take the last Merc camp on the map here, and since we're 20, we're gonna start applying some serious pressure on their side. Now, level 20, there's two options as well. You can either take Demonic Form or Bolt of the Storm. I take the Demonic Form when there is like 2 or 3 different heroes on their team that can heavily CC you, so think about like Kerrigan or Uther or something like that. And that's because Demonic Form, you gain a 50% reduction in the amount of disabling effects. And that's really, really good against CC. However, looking at their team here, they don't really have anyone who can disable me. So I'm going to take Bolt of the Storm. I believe Bolt of the Storm is really, really good on Illidan as well because it addresses something that he lacks substantially. Okay, they're just going on me here. I didn't even see them, but I'm gonna spam all my buttons there just to make sure I don't, die. And now I'm gonna start hitting these guys. Okay. And now I'm gonna bolt out and Q onto one of these creeps for my escape. I'm actually dying here. Hopefully I don't die to these creeps. Nope. But like I was saying, Bolt of the Storm addresses one of Illidan's major weak points, and basically his major weak point is, while Illidan is really, really good at diving into a fight, he's actually really bad at getting out. So, once you metamorph onto a team fight, there's very little chance that you can just walk away unharmed. It's a very much a all-in hero, so, you have to pick your metamorphoses very carefully. Once you go in, normally there's no going out. And Bolt of the Storm fixes that. You can Metamorphosis in and bolt out, very easily. And it basically gives Illidan an escape mechanic, whereas he, prior to Bolt of the Storm, he really doesn't have a good one. Sure, you can like W out, but usually if you're gonna Metamorphosis in, you're gonna be using your W and Q offensively. So, it's not the greatest escape mech. Bolt of the Storm is a much, much better one. Okay, so here I'm gonna come here and try my best to help my teammates here. He should go into the VP so he stops dying. He did, but it was a little too late. I'm gonna go on the Dark Templar here because he's the lowest one, but he just blinked out, so I'm gonna run away. I actually got super low there, so I popped both my defensive abilities. This tower, I hope, if he dives super hard for me, and it looks like he is, I actually believe I can win the fight against him, but we will see. I dodged most of the things, but it was just a little too much damage, I suppose. I think he's gonna die regardless. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, so he died regardless, so in the end, he just followed me for a 1-for-1 trade. It was worth it for them, though, because they did manage to get the DK there. So this is actually gonna be quite hard for us to hold. We might lose a keep here. Let's see. Looking at the graph, they just have... It seems like their heroes are doing... Well, I'm not even sure how they're winning that hard, at all, really, but I feel like as long as we just hold our own and win one more fight, we're still gonna be able to win this game, so hopefully that happens. Oh, Zeratul almost got the kill, and okay. We managed to find that kill there, which is very good. And it looks like my team is just ignoring the DK and going for the heroes. And that's actually one of the strategies you can do against DK. And it's actually one of the best strategies because DK is super strong against buildings, but it's not super strong against heroes. So one of the strategies you can do is actually just to ignore the DK and then go on whoever's behind it. This is a strategy that people use in the competitive scene quite a lot, and my team kind of did it there. I don't know if they did it intentionally or not, but it worked out pretty well nonetheless. Okay, so I'm gonna blink after that guy. He stayed to try and kill me. He didn't manage it, and now I think he's gonna die. That's the real one for sure, and we just killed him pretty easily there. And now 3 of them are dead. So this is good. The game has swung back into our control, and what we're going to do here is we're going to take all the mercenary camps on the map. Actually, since this guy took it, we're just going to kill him for it. It's not worth it for him to, lose his life over that merc camp. He was trying to minimize the losses for his team since he knew we were going to come here, but he did it slightly too late, unfortunately for him. Okay, moving over here, we're going to take this merc camp. And now I'm just gonna flip over here, clear this wave, and go to the bottom camp as soon as possible. Actually, these guys are like kind of out of position. There's only 2 of them, so I'm gonna go on them just to see what they do, you know. I'm not gonna go super hard here, like that guy is, because I just wanted to force something out of him, and it looks like I forced both Sprint and Gargantuan out of the Nazebo, which is, you know, which is pretty much all I wanted. So I'm gonna back off a little bit here. That's a really good VP, but we don't have everyone, but alright, fine. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go on this Nazebo here. Ooh. So I messed up big time there. I didn't manage to use my defensive abilities before I died. I was trying to wait until the very last second, but unfortunately that was not how it worked out. But it's still okay. We still have full control of the map, and because the Nazebo died as well, you know, it's still a 4-on-4. And hopefully my team will be able to get at least one of the shrines. Okay, so we caught out the Nova there, so now it's 3v4, and now we're guaranteed to get at least 1 shrine. So there's no risk of them getting the DK, and that's really, really good. Looking at their skills, that Illidan actually got Fury of the Storm, so that's actually quite weird, because yeah, do not get that skill. It's not very good whatsoever, and can't believe he actually got it. Alright, looking back at the fight here, looks like we forced an Ancestral. That's good. 1 less ult for us to worry about. We do have the DK here, and this guy's trying to kill the tank, but maybe I can save him in time? No, I can't. Unfortunate. I'm gonna fight this guy a little bit because I have both my defensive spells up, and I really don't want him to run away. And see, because this guy has no blink, because he took Fury of the Storm for whatever reason, there's just no way you can get away. Yeah, Illidan really lacks escape mechanics, so one of the reasons why blink is so good. Okay, so there I was pushing out, and I got sniped by a Nova. Not sure what this guy is doing. He might be AFK. I think he might have disconnected or something, but unfortunately he disconnected in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, so I'm just waiting here. I'm gonna see what the circumstances down there, and I'm not convinced they're gonna be able to take the shrine, so I'm actually gonna run down there to help them. I Q on this guy, and once I Q on someone, it's gonna be very hard for them to escape. However, he did use Ancestral again, so it kinda makes it really annoying for me. I'm not gonna bother chasing him into his base there. What I'm gonna try and do here is get the DK, but I'm sure the Nova is like waiting somewhere, so I'm gonna pop my first aid preemptively and get ready to go on him if he snipes me. Oh, okay. So it looks like he didn't snipe me, which is good. I'm gonna kick this guy out of the way here, and I'm gonna go straight into their forts. No patience, no time for waiting. At this point, DK is, you know, fairly strong, and I'm gonna kick this guy out, and I'm just gonna tunnel on their forts and hope my teammates can, you know, handle themselves. Okay, I'm gonna kick this guy out. Looks like that Illidan I kicked out just died, and they also got Zeratul, so at this point they're pretty screwed. Actually gonna hit this guy a couple times, because in the late stages, DK does do a good amount of damage to heroes as well. And wow, that guy actually ulted me. So that's a pretty big mistake. Late game DK has a really huge amount of HP. His HP pool is absolutely insane, and if you're gonna blow an ult on him, it actually doesn't do very much damage at all. But whatever. So here, I'm gonna end the game. I believe we can just end it if, you know, my teammates hit the core. Someone called for a retreat, but that's not right, because late game DK does huge amounts of damage, and yeah, it's like the game is just over here. I'm just gonna go back in here and Q the core, and game over. So that was my, very sloppy game of Illidan. I made quite a few mistakes in this game, but hopefully you guys understood, the basics of playing Illidan, and hopefully I imparted some knowledge onto you. Just remember that Illidan pre-10 is fairly weak, and, Illidan post 10 is actually quite strong, but you do have to watch out when you're going to Metamorphosis, because once you go in, there's no going out until level 20 when you get Bolt of the Storm. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, and other than that, have a nice day. And until next time.